Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I am the senior minister here at the Oasis. And I always like to introduce this team that God has provided me because I couldn't do this without them. So let me start off with my faithful assistant, Faith. She has been my assistant since the day she was born, basically. Her dad used to hold her while he was working the soundboard and, do this with one hand and this with the other hand. And when she was old enough to crawl, she just crawled right up on stage. So we figured that was the best place for her. And then she would sit on the podium when I did my announcements. And I think people listened more. But anyway, she grew up 6 blocks from my house. And whenever she would, her dad was a tow truck driver. And whenever he would go on out of town tows, he would bring the girls to my house. And of course, I always have projects going on at my house. So I would put the girls to work. And when she was 14 and a half, she said, I really want a real job. And, I'd seen her work. So I'm like, yeah, I'll hire you. So I hired her for my ozone business. And then when we went live online, I said, do you want to be my ministerial assistant? She said, sure. So here we are. And she does all the stuff behind the scenes that you may or may not know. She answers you when you say hi, hello, good morning, which is how we ask you to greet us since we're not in a facility and I don't see faces shining back at me. I get a number. I don't even get names. So when you do that, she answers you. And I always go back later and check and see if there's something else that I need to add. But usually she knows me better than I know myself. So it goes very smoothly. And she's also our soloist. So today she's going to be singing Stand by Karen Drucker. So thank you, Faith, for being here. I love you. I literally could not do this without her. And then there is my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz, that's not showing up on the screen. Where are you, Oz? Oh, my. Okay, well, he's wandering around his property in Florida. So we'll see if he can get back on. Let's see. Nope, still not showing. Okay, so anyway, Oz took all of his practitioner training with me. So he's my first baby practitioner. And then was my board president for many years, I think like 7 years. And then he moved off to Florida, and I lost the ability to have him be our practitioner of service. But since we started doing this during the pandemic, I asked him if he'd be willing. And of course, he always steps up when asked. So he is our practitioner of the day, maybe. I don't know. He's wandering around his property. I don't know. Oh, he's wandering around somebody else's property. They're having lunch. Lisa is this gourmet chef that makes the best stuff. Anyway, he's at her house, so he's wandering around the property trying to do this. So he may or may not pray us in, but he will probably pray us out. Oh, there he is. Let's see if he shows up now. Yay, there he is.
It got knocked off for some reason.
I know. Well, first of all, when I tried to bring you in, it just was black. So you weren't even showing up. But I was just talking about you, all about you. Were your ears ringing?
Yeah.
Anyway, he'll be praying us in and praying us out. And he's available at the end for our 1 minute miracle. So definitely, I'll talk more about that later, but thank you so much for being here, Oz. I can't do this without you, so I really appreciate you. Love you. All right. And so I am without my announcement notes. I got stuck on something and I had to throw it away, and now I can't get my printer to print it. So I'm winging it here. So I do know there's a watch party button that if you click on that, you can invite all of your friends. And it's a great way for them to see what kind of Sunday service they can expect. And you can talk amongst yourselves because it's a private chat. So you won't disturb anybody, and you can answer their questions should they have any. So click on that watch party button and invite all your friends to Sunday church. All right. I invite you now to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God right here, right now. For God is in all things, as all things, for all time, in all places. Even when the internet connection goes in and out, God is still present. I know that presence is right here through our service, uplifting and inspiring. And I know that right words and the right thoughts are spoken, and they touch the hearts of those that are listening. I know this is a blessing that we participate in, and that now and in the future, that God's presence is made felt. And I know that this is true for me right now and for you as you listen. And I thank God that it is so. And so it is with great thanks that I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Woz. Enjoy your brunch. I was just talking about Lisa and her famous cooking. I remember whatever that soup was. Was it cucumber soup? That cold soup she.
Oh gosh, today she's doing a shakushi. I think it is. It's not shakuhachi, but I'll find out.
Oh my God,
it's
her
amazing
food is so
stuff.
good, and she grows all of her own vegetables and everything. So
yeah, the garden is all around me. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your lunch, and we'll see you on the back end for praying out.
Yeah, love you.
Love you too. Tell Lisa I said hi. Oh my goodness. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed whatever that was. I think it was a cucumber soup. Cucumber lavender. I don't know. Oh my God, it was so good. Anyway, she had like 5 courses, but the soup was what knocked me out of the ballpark. Anyway, okay, so if you're here, please say hi, hello, good morning, however you would like to greet us. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see these shining faces smiling back at me. Here I get a number. I don't even get names, so I would appreciate it if you just let us know that you are here. What else do I? Oh, if you like something that I say, or Faith sings, or Oz prays, if you like something you hear, whatever it is, use that like button. And if you love it, of course, send us hearts. We love to get love. And if something strikes you as really powerful, by all means, use the wow button. Okay. That kind of feedback really helps us. So we're going to move into our second song, which is a song that Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver wrote. And it's a great reminder that we are all connected. It is. We are all one.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living. Open surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one, we are all one, we are all one in it. Yes, we are all one, we are all one, we are all one in it.
Yes, we are all one in it. Again, say hi, hello, good morning, however you want to greet us if you're here. If you're stopping by later, just drop a line. Say good morning, however you want to greet us, and just let us know that you stopped by. I don't know if I shared with you what today's topic is, but with everything going on in Israel and Palestine, I decided to do the peace sermon, which is Stand for Peace. So that's what our topic is this week. And I'll talk more about that later. But for right now, I would like to I'm going to turn this over to Faith to sing Stand by Karen Drucker.
Thank you. For years I would talk about how I wanted to change the world, but I always left it up for someone else to do. But then I finally realized I needed to take a stand, and that by changing my thinking I could change my life. And that's how I could change the world. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. I am a stand for love. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. See it? Yeah, we are making a new world now. Thank you.
Thank you, Faith. That was wonderful. That's one of my favorite songs that Karen Drucker does. Taking a stand for peace is really important, especially these days when everything has gone awry. You know, we worry about stuff when we have our own elections, you know, and we have people on either side and there's all this arguing back and forth. But it's in every country. And, you know, we've got the war in Ukraine, and now we have the war in the Gaza Strip with Israel and Hamas. And so I really wanted to talk about peace because if we were to only just tune into what's going on in the world, it would make us a little crazy. So I like to focus on peace and make that my mantra. I take a stand for peace. So that's why that song is so important. And being a minister is really kind of interesting. We have 52 weeks out of the year where we have to say the same thing, but in different ways every time. It's tricky, but trust me, where we get our inspiration from is really interesting too. My all-time favorite inspiration for peace is actually the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. There's some movies out there that I take and I watch over and over and over again because some of the content really inspires me. And that is one of them. And there's this point at which in the movie, he throws the ring into the volcano and declares, "Let there be peace between our lands." Wouldn't that be nice if that's the way it really worked? Wouldn't it be nice if someone in America could say, "Let there be peace between our two parties"? Or in the case of Israel and the Gaza Strip, "Let there be peace between our two lands." Or the same thing in Ukraine and Russia. You know, let there be peace. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody could just declare that and it would happen? But that's not really the way it works, right? And so I always look at that, the one thing that would be a beautiful idea to bring everybody together, because we need to share a peace together. This world, all of us need to share a peace together. And, you know, no matter who wins an election, somebody's always upset. Or it doesn't matter if you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter. That last election, everybody was up in arms because of the one or the other, you know. And so it's important for us to focus on what is important, right? Instead of focusing on who's winning the election, or, you know, because we have this election coming up too, and we're going to be in that same situation. And instead of focusing on, you know, our passion for who we believe in, if we could focus on peace, if we could keep our thoughts trained on peace, I think it would be a lot better. One of the inspirations I get for peace is from the song One Tin Soldier. I don't know if you remember it. But when there's war in like Ukraine or there's war in Israel, this is what I think about. The song happens about this people, this village of people that live up in the mountains, and they've never had any strife or anything, and that never had wars. There's never been any fighting or anything. And somebody comes and takes them over, destroys all of the people, kills all the people, because they think there's a treasure there. So they go up on the mountain and they look for this treasure, and they find the treasure. And when they take it out, it's a tablet that says, "Peace on earth, goodwill toward man." And can you imagine the disappointment, you know, if you think you're getting gold, but it's really about peace on earth, especially after what you've just done to those people. But I know that peace exists within us already, that is the truth about us. Because I believe there is a divine intelligence that lives within us that is God, the presence of God that lives within us. And that is where our inner peace comes from. And so we can focus on that no matter what's going on in the world. I know that I try not to watch the news very much because it pulls me down, you know. I have to watch a little bit. I have a cousin over in Israel. She and her son and his family live in Israel, and so I kind of tune in to see what's going on over there. I tune into her because she does lives, and I listen to what she has to say about what's going on over there. But I also kind of need to watch the news because she's limited to her little area. Luckily, she's about 100 miles from most of the fighting, so it's not affecting her that way. But I know that there's just so much strife. I have a friend in Holland who says to me, but those poor Palestinians, right? And I go, yeah, I know. I feel bad for them. And he's like, they're not the terrorists. This is about the terrorists, and Israel's going to wipe them out. And I'm like, I don't think that's what's going on. What I think is going on is because Israel has asked the Palestinian civilians to move from the north to the south. So they're out of the way of harm. And not that there won't be casualties, I'm sure there will be, but Israel is doing its best to make sure that the Palestinian civilians are not harmed. And so it's not an either or. I mean, I feel bad for everybody. I mean, Palestinians are in a very precarious life. One lady that was talking, and she was saying, they're in a cage and they have very little freedom, and they have, it's hard living there. I get that. And it makes you naturally more angry when you live in those kind of circumstances. Because stress, right? I wouldn't want to live in the circumstances that they live in, but I get it. So, but they're not the Hamas. They're not the terrorists. But out of their anger grew up this governing body, so to speak, called Hamas. And while I can feel for the Palestinian people, I also believe that there's nothing that warrants the kind of terror that was rained on Israel. So I see both sides. Normally, I see both sides of every situation anyway, but I really do see both sides here. I don't see the side of the terrorists. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, says we are for everything and against nothing. It doesn't mean that we're for war. Please understand. It means that we're not against anything, that I am for peace instead of being against war. I am for life instead of against death. I am for love instead of being against hate. That's what that meant. And so we are for peace. And that's why I want to talk about a stand for peace right now, because I really want us to get that when we take a stand for peace, it's a consciousness that we carry that we can now put forth into that sea of receptivity I'm always talking about, and allow the world to take that peace in, right? It doesn't mean they will. They may not. But if we offer it, that's what's important. And so we work on our own consciousness. I don't worry about, what the military soldiers are doing. I don't worry about what the Palestinian people are doing. I don't worry about what Hamas is doing. I don't worry about what Israel's doing. I focus my attention on that peace within, because that's what really will make a difference, or has the ability to make a difference in the world. And so we sit here in this place called peace. And it doesn't matter. Like you can be peaceful anywhere, right? I have my own little peace process that I do. I love baths. I'm a bathtub person, and I will go into the bath and I will turn off all the lights and light a few candles. Sometimes I'll use essential oils. Sometimes I'll use bubble bath. Sometimes I'll use just an oil. Sometimes I like Epsom salts, but the thing is I don't always meditate or pray when I'm in there. Sometimes I just sit there and just envelop myself in that feeling of peace. And because truly what creates the most is that feeling, right? And so when I'm sitting in the summertime, I get to sit on my porch, my front porch, and look at my garden. And I feel that same way. I just sit there and just envelop myself in the peace. And we can do that anywhere. Ram Dass in his book was talking about how he was in the temple and he was meditating and he felt like he had achieved a level of peace or joy with meditation, ability with meditation, that he could meditate anywhere. So to prove his point, he went to a street corner in New York City and meditated, and he got it. It went fine. He was just fine. And I think that's important for us to note, that we don't have to be in the bathtub or we don't have to be on the front porch. We can be in that state of mind, that feeling of peace anytime we wish. We just have to intentionally go there, right? And try to, not try, I hate that word try. You can either pick up a pen or you can either, pick it up or not pick it up, but you can't try to pick it up. But we focus our attention on that peaceful feeling that envelops us when we are focused. Our intention is focused on peace. So I strive to have that as much as possible. And so when we are doing that, what we need to recognize is that it's a power that lives within us, always has lived within us, and always will be within us. And what we're doing is we're touching that part of ourselves, that presence that lives within us. We are actually making contact with that when we are in a place of peace, when we actually are in a place of peace. So one of my favorite speakers that I love to listen to and get inspiration from, Dr. Edward Viljoen, who is a Dutch South African. I love his accent. I could listen to him for hours speaking. But he talks about, he has people do this exercise to close their eyes and come up with what right now is stressing you out. So I'm going to have you do that. I'm going to have you just close your eyes just for a moment and just think about what is stressing you out right now. Just kind of tune into that. It's pretty easy to come up with it because you know that your mind is always circling around it all the time, right? Okay. So I'm assuming everybody has something that they're aware of that stresses them out. And so I'm going to try and guess what it is. And I bet I can guess. Okay. It is either a place, a problem, a person, or a pace. Am I right? Did you get that? And what's funny about that is that all of those things are things that we give our power away to. We give our power away to a place, for example, thinking that if I go to church and I sit in church, then I'm a good person. And we give our power away to that. Yes, I believe in going to church, but not for that reason. Not for the reason of giving your power away. Because that place has significance only in the fact that when I'm there, I feel good. When I'm there, I participate in a spiritual community. What you are here today, because somehow or other, it's uplifting and inspiring you, right? I hope. And so what's important about a place is not to give your power away to it, but in fact, to just recognize the place that it holds in your heart that matches the environment that you're in, right? Okay, so the other thing is our pace. Now, this world never even slowed down during the pandemic. It just was a different kind of fast-paced, right? And so when we give our power away to the pace of life, we have now put ourselves in a position where we can't sit down and relax because we're so caught up in that pace that we get stressed out, right? So if you're stressed out about a pace, the key to that is to slow down, sit, and be in peace. I know it sounds like an oxymoron, like I'm stressed out. How could I do that? You can do that. That's where meditation and prayer come in. If you can't get yourself into that space by just sitting and focusing on peace, then you need to meditate or pray. And when all else fails, pray, right? We are funny creatures, we humans. It's just funny instead of praying first. All right. So any of those things can be stressful. Now, when we give our power away to another person, it's because we want them to change. We want them to become something else, right? The only person that we can give our power away to safely is ourselves. Because if someone else can give me peace, they can take it away from me, right? And so why would I put myself in the position where I'm looking to that other person for peace? So we don't want to make other people change. Can't make them change anyway. That's something that has to be self-induced and cannot be done from the outside in. When my sister died, my nieces and I were talking, and I said, yes, I would have liked for her to stop drinking. Of course I would have. But you can't make somebody stop drinking. And so I said all I could do was love her through it. And my one niece just jumped on that, and it made her feel so good to think about that you can only love somebody through the process of their own process, right? You cannot change them. You cannot make them do anything. You can't make them diet. You can't make them stop drinking. You can't make them get off drugs. You can't make them be a better person. The only thing that you can do is love them through whatever their process is and hope that they come out on the other side. But what stresses us out is that we think we can change other people, that we can control them somehow or make them do something. And it's that stress that keeps us from our peace. So we want to make sure we're not giving our power away to any place, any pace, any person, or any problem. Because truthfully, the answer to all of the problems is that power of God that lives within us. It doesn't matter what the problem is. It doesn't matter what the situation is or what is bothering you. The answer is always God. And so when we touch that place within ourselves, that connect with that God presence that is within us, when we do that, then nothing has any power over us, right? I remember one of the things Dr. Edward Villechon said was he was talking to one of his mentor ministers one time. And he was saying, this is bothering me. And, I've talked to people and they tell me this and they tell me that. And she said, stop swimming with sharks when you're bleeding. Go play with the dolphins. And I thought about that for a minute, because those people who you give your power away to will cut you when you're bleeding. They will attack you when you're bleeding. Dolphins are like, hey, forget about all that. Let's go play. The world is a happy place. Let's do that. And I'm not saying you want to go off and play to get rid of your problems. I'm just saying be around people who want to focus on the good, who want to focus on the peace, who want to focus on the strength, who want to uplift and inspire you to be something greater than you are in this moment. Don't be around the people who have something to say about you all the time. I have this one friend. I love her dearly, but she's got a commentary on everything I say, honestly, or anything that I do. And she thinks she's helping me. But what's true is she just annoys me. But I just love her through the process, because I can't change her, and I don't want to destroy the friendship. So all I can do is go, and move on, right? And that's the key to all of it, because if I got upset, I would be giving my power away to her, right? So I take my power back every time I just say, okay, I'm fine. My peace is what's important. I used to say all the time, I would rather be happy than right. So when I was in an argument with somebody, that was my mantra. Internally, I never said that to them, of course. But I would internally be going, I would rather be happy than right. I would rather be happy than right. I would rather be happy than right. Because once I figured out that it's not about that other person, it's all about how I'm internally reacting to whatever it is they're doing or saying, right? When I figured that out, it was so much easier, because when you react to somebody else, you've given them some power, right? And when you realize that, here's a perfect example. I used to have this lady in my congregation who was an English teacher. And she would come up at the end of every sermon and talk to me about my grammar and my incorrect use of words. And at first I get very upset, and I'm trying really hard to be the minister and like not react. And I would go home and I would, and I'd freak out about it. And then I started realizing that it was my fear that I was not a good enough minister, that I was not speaking well, that she was just projecting onto me. Or I was projecting onto her, and she was feeding it back to me. She was mirroring that back to me. And it was really funny because once I healed that, she went away. She moved out of state. But it was really interesting to watch my process in that, because I've learned now that it's not just that I would rather be happy than right. It is that I understand that I have a piece of that in that, whatever that circumstance is. And when I recognize my piece of that, and when I'm healing that piece of that, then I no longer react to that other person saying or doing those things. It came in really handy when I had the man child in my house. I follow this guy named, I knew I was going to. Sadhguru, I think is what is. Sadhguru. It's Sadh. And I just love him. He is the funniest man. He is in India, and he's the typical guru, with the white beard and the white hair and the guru robes and everything. And he giggles to himself all the time. He'll be talking and, he'll start giggling. But he talks about how it's so hard to have peace when you live in a house with 3 kids, because one is happy, the other 2 are not. Those 2 get happy, the other one gets upset. And he said, sometimes I just have to go outside and breathe because it's just so intense. And then he goes inside and he deals with whatever's going on. But he said, I really have to focus on my own peace and my reactions to what's going on there in order to be calm enough to deal with to deal with the situation. But he talks about peace as a technology, right? So he says to the crowd, do you enjoy the sound? And everybody's nodding and he's giggling. And he goes, well, in order to have the sound that you enjoy, you have to understand the microphone, and you have to understand the soundboard, and you have to understand the speakers, and you have to understand the technology of sound. To understand peace, you have to understand the technology of peace. The technology of peace is that it is within you. It is always with you. It can't leave you. Only you can shut it off. You can close down and not allow that peace to be present in the moment. And so he says, I go outside and I use the technology of peace to ground myself so I can go back in and deal with these critters. He calls them critters. And I thought at the time that I heard him say that, I had 3 dogs, a man-child, and a bird. And my house was nuts all the time. So I was in my bathroom quite frequently. And in the summertime, I was on my porch most of the time because I needed to be away from all of that craziness, right? And I would sit and contemplate peace, because I do know that peace is within me, that God presence that lives within me is the truth about me. And God is peace. So I focus on that. I try to bring that present. I strive to bring that present all the time, because that's the reality I want to live in. I don't want to live in the reality where I'm watching the news to see if my cousin is safe. I don't want to live in the reality where I fear for my life when I go out somewhere. I don't want to live in a reality where hatred and strife and arguments and hurtful things are present. I want to live in a reality where peace and safety are my everyday experience. And sometimes that means not watching the news so much. Sometimes it means checking out from all of that. But I do know that I have to tune in every now and then to be able to know what's going on, to be aware. But the other part of peace is adjusting, right? We adjust to the world as is. We don't try to change the world into something that it's not. As much as I would love to have peace in Israel, I know that I can't make peace happen in Israel. I'm not going to pray it in and it's going to happen, right? If enough of us prayed, I do believe in the power of God, but I also don't believe that we can manipulate others. Like, I wouldn't want Osama bin Laden being able to manipulate me into being one of his followers or living the life that, his followers live. And so I can't claim that for myself if I want to take power over another person or another country or another group of people. I can't claim that self-will for myself unless I do that. So we adjust to the world around us. We adjust to all the COVID stuff. I mean, I don't quite know what to do with Thanksgiving and Christmas now. My husband had a lung transplant and he's on these anti-rejection meds. My nephews are not vaccinated. So we will never be able to be together as a family ever again. But here's the thing. When my sister was alive, she and I would get on video chat and do Thanksgiving and Christmas. And now that she's not there, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I adjust. We just adjust. When the pandemic was locking us in our homes, we adjusted by taking the church live. Instead of having an audience clapping for our singers, I clap. When Tina sings, Faith and I clap. We adjust. We adjust our reality so that we can live in it. Or we don't adjust the reality, I should say, we adjust to our reality. But in that reality, if we can focus on the peace within, and we get to that point where we are focused on the peace within and the feeling that brings, the feeling of peace that rises up from within us, when we can focus on that, then all of the things of this world make no difference, really. Not to our personal, everyday moment of experience. It's only when we are focused on the strife in the world that it becomes our reality. So this week, do this with me. Just take however long you can, whether that be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever time you can, to just sit and contemplate the peace of God that lives within you. Can you do that with me this week? I guarantee it will make your life better. Let's have a prayer. Right now, I just turn my awareness to the infinite power, the infinite presence of God. To that place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful God is, how amazing God is, how beautiful God is. And that is where I find myself, in the midst of God, my very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that ancient wisdom of the ages that lives within me, that flows through me as it flows through all of creation. I know that same truth to be so for the wonderful team that God has provided. For Lynn and for Faith and for Tina and for Karen and for Elaine and for Oz. For we are absolutely one in that infinite power, that infinite presence of God. And we are guided and led by that same ancient wisdom of the ages that flows through everyone. I know that to be so for every person listening to this, whether that be in real time or later on. For there is no place where one leaves off and the other begins. We are only one. One power, one presence, one life, one love. And we are of it as it moves through us. The Takuyasen, all my brother, we are related. So I bless this coming week with an awareness of all those times that we give our power away to something that is stressing us out. And in that awareness, we jump right away to, let me just take a few minutes to go find my inner peace. We sit wherever that's important to us, wherever we can connect with that infinite power, that infinite presence that lives within us, that is the inner peace that thrives when we connect with it. I bless this week with so many experiences of the peace of God, filling up our awareness to the point where there is nothing but that. I know that same truth to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer today, this week. Because I know whatever circumstance that they are dealing with, whatever they appear to be struggling with, God is the answer. So I pull back that veil right now and display that truth here and now as I claim it for them in their name as good and very good. I give thanks for this being done, as I give thanks to be in service this way. My heart fills with gratitude, and I just let it be. And so it is. Amen.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. The heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world.
Thank you, Faith. All right, this is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to elicit that feeling of gratitude for that which you have experienced here in the physical realm, or that which you have already created in the mind of God, but may not have experienced it yet in the physical realm. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you to go to www.oasiscsl.org. And about 2/3 down the page is our offering affirmation that I'm going to have you say with me. But directly under that is the Contribute Now button. So I want to talk real quickly about Contribute Now, or your contributions. We are not in a facility, so there's no rent, utilities, all the normal stuff that you pay for when you're contributing to a church normally. Instead, what you're contributing to is our vision and our mission. Our vision is a healed world. Our mission is healing the world one person at a time. And we want to reach that goal or that vision globally. Right now, we have people that join us from the Netherlands or Holland, the UK or England, Germany. We'd have some people from the Philippines. We have some people from India. It's really a blessing when I look sometimes to see who the people are that are joining us. So in order to get our message out to the rest of the world, or God's message out to the rest of the world, so that we can fulfill our mission, it takes marketing. It takes money to do the marketing. So when I ask you to click on that Contribute Now button, that's what I'm asking you to do, is contribute to the vision through our mission. All right. So whether you're watching in real time or later on, please now go to www.oasiscsl.org and say this offering affirmation with me. This perfect gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. So right now, click on that Contribute Now button and help us with our mission. All right. We have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners from coast to coast that we call our God Squad. They are the healing arm of the church, and they perform 3 functions, basically. The first function is that they pray on any prayer requests every day for a week. So if you would like prayer for something, put it in the comments section. If you don't want it to be public, just DM Faith, and she'll make sure that the God Squad gets that. The second thing that they do is they're available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. And so you reach out to them. You can look them up on our website, which we are still in construction. Look them up on the website, contact them through Facebook, tell them you would like an appointment, you'd like to make an appointment for spiritual guidance, and they'll tell you how to pay for it. I don't get involved in any of that. Every practitioner has their own business. So some of them use Cash App, some of them use Venmo, some of them use PayPal, some of them use, I don't know, I have Wise, Zelle. I don't get involved. But anyway, they'll tell you how you can pay for it. And then at the appointed time, they will reach out to you by video chat. Take advantage of this service that they provide, because truly, it is very difficult for us to see our own spiritual truth. So we need our practitioners who can show us the spiritual truth for ourselves until we can see it for ourselves. That's the biggest thing that they do. The third service that they do is what Oz is doing today, and that is called the Practitioner of the Day. That is where he invokes us. He does an invocation. He does a benediction. And at the very end, he's available for what we call our 1-minute miracle. It's not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share whatever you are experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. So reach out to him through video chat. If he doesn't answer right away, it just means that he's on with someone else. Or in this case, he might be at a brunch. But I think he'll be available. Excuse me. But that is how you utilize our practitioners, known as the God Squad. I'm sorry, I don't have my throat lozenges today. I don't know what I did with them. They're somewhere to keep my throat lubricated. All right. If you would like to be part of our online community, type more in the comment section and Faith will get you added to our online community. It's a public facing group page on Facebook. Please check out Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver's website. I think it's, yeah, there it is. We couldn't do music on Sundays if it wasn't for Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver and Karen Drucker. So I like to acknowledge them because anytime we try to do contemporary music, Facebook mutes us or YouTube mutes us. So we've gotten permission from these two ladies to do their music. So Fairy Elaine Silver, for some reason, her website can't be updated. And so she has no way to tell you how to pay on the website. So go to the website, look at the CDs, decide which one you want, and then email her. She travels around the country singing, and she always has her CDs in the trunk of her car. So she'll tell you how to pay for it. You pay for it. She'll send it out. She's really good about sending it out right away. The other one is Karen Drucker, and her website does work. You can order off of it, pay for it right there. You can order it by the song, by the CD, by the songbook, by the karaoke file, and some of her songbooks even have American Sign Language, some of the songs. So definitely check out these ladies. Christmas is coming. Whether you're buying a gift for yourself or someone else, definitely support them. All right. Here is, grab this. This is a mala bead necklace from Brooks & Bailey. This one is amethyst. It's $60. But they have anything from $30 and up, depending on what gem you want to use. The reason I like mala bead necklaces is the Hindus and the Buddhists use these necklaces. They move one bead at a time and do their chants. And I say, if you're going to do 100 affirmations a day, this is a great way to do it, because there's 108 beads on the mala bead necklace and there's 54 on the bracelets. So you would just use the bracelets twice. Let me get their information up here. Again, we like to support those who support us. These are two wonderful ladies that just happen to be my nieces, but they definitely support us, and I really like to support them. All of the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, and you can reach them by brooksandbailey0307@gmail.com or on their Facebook page. I do try to repost any of the events that they have a table at, so you can see they have other jewelry besides the mala beads, but I always like to start out with that. Okay, Faith.
And please check out my the website no longer works. However, you can order through Instagram and Facebook at the Mystic Brew 303. We have intention jars as well as kits to make them yourself, and bath salts that help attract whatever you are currently working on. So please check that out, and then also give us a follow for any upcoming deals or classes.
Okay. And then Angel Renee, who is also a member of our congregation, has an Etsy store with intention candles and tea bags that you put into your bath water. She uses aromatic herbs to help focus your intention, help you focus on your intention. Oz, are you trying to turn the camera around? He's got vertical and horizontal and vertical and horizontal. Oh, now he's to the corner. Oh my God, that's funny. He's a funny man. Okay. Also, check out our website, oasiscsl.org. There you're going to find video sermons of the last 3 years and audio sermons for years prior. We are also on YouTube and SoundCloud. YouTube has the videos and SoundCloud has the audio files under S. Tucker. So tune into our website, see what's going on. We are in the process of reconstructing all of it. So it's going to be a lot better. But So check us out. Just keep informed in what we're doing. And so we're going to move to Oz to pray us out now. Hopefully it'll stay.
And I know that right here, right now, God is in us, as us, all around us, in everything we do, see, and experience, and that we are participants in this great power. I allow that power to flow through my life and through yours through the course of the coming week. And I know that it is good and very good. I let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here today. I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning. We're blessed to have you with us. Tune in next week at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, and every week. We're going to have, we lost Oz, didn't we? Oh my. Okay. But tune in every week at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. We love having you here. In the meantime, stay safe. We love you. Bye.